I'm going to totally fall into the 1% of this hot take here, but I think Flash getting delayed to 2025 is actually a really good thing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Before you click off the video, just hear me out for a minute.
Now get ready. Here we go.
Okay, so let's get into this discussion. Why would I say such a thing? Why would I want to say that I had a feeling that Flash was going to close and still be closed this whole entire season and not open until 2025? Well, here's the thing, right? There's a couple of things that a lot of people aren't very aware of when it comes down to a lot of things, when it comes down to construction, when it comes down to just the overall steps to complete a ride, as well as time frame, which all have a major factor implied to when a ride can actually open. And we're going to start there as well, because one of the biggest things about Flash vertical velocity that still many people don't know of to this day is that Flash was not intentionally going to go to Great Adventure. Now, it was originally going to be going to another park, if I'm not mistaken. I don't exactly know if this is right or not. I think it was going to go to Vietnam. And the whole idea is that Six Flags bought off that Super Boomerang project, and they said, you know what? We'll get it at a discounted price, and we'll get it to Great Adventure because they have a big anniversary coming up. We could squeeze it somewhere in the park. So they just decided, hey, we're going to plop this ride down right here, and we're going to build it for the 50th anniversary. Mind you, the full announcement of this ride didn't happen until very late August. Probably, I'd say about a year ago from this date. I don't exactly know if that's true or not. But it was around this time when they actually announced the ride. And then Six Flags itself never gave a compilation video of all of their announcements until about a month and a half afterwards for their new 2024 editions. With that being said, this was indeed a last minute addition. Flash Vertical Velocity was never going to go to Great Adventure in the first place. It was never going to be a project as part of the 50th anniversary. And that's something that many people to this day still can't get a grip around. And that's nothing to throw against you guys. It's just that there's a lot bigger of a process that goes into these things than one might think. And yes, it is a very tedious process. Yes, it's a very annoying process. And yes, the state is most certainly very cautious, and we'll say, when it comes to these brand new additions for parks, especially a roller coaster, which will take longer than usual. But now, even after saying that, other people might start blaming Six Flags itself and saying, well, Six Flags announces their rides so late, but yet nothing is actually started or constructed until much later on, you might say. Yes, this is true, right? That's usually how Six Flags has ran things. However, there is a positive to all this, and this gets into my first big pro of the video, and that is the Cedar Fair management. As we know, the merger has gone through, it has happened. Cedar Fair main officials have merged with Six Flags. I think most of the board is literally all Cedar Fair people. So, with that being said, the way Cedar Fair always runs with their new attractions and rides is they literally have this prepped about a year in advance. So, construction example for Rapterra at King's Dominion and even Alpine Fury at Canada's Wonderland are two prime examples of this. They have started construction for both of those projects, if I'm not mistaken, back in very late 2022. Like they were prepping land, starting to dig holes, putting under God, I don't even know what to say with Alpine Fury, but they were starting all these things with markers and all these things in the area just to get ready. Now, come 2025, both of those rides are going to be ready for pretty much opening weekend, if not even just about a month afterwards, if at all, right? Now, come 2025 for Six Flags Great Adventure, Flash Vertical Velocity should and will likely already be done in terms of station, trains, testing, electronics, indoor, outdoor queues, etc. everything for Flash by the time that the opening day for 2025 comes around means that Flash will be ready to go right at that point. Now, if they had started construction earlier, maybe they made the decision much earlier on for Flash and they said, hey, we're going to introduce Flash vertical velocity. And maybe they made this announcement still in August, but they started work on it, let's say back in February, right? Then you could make the argument that Flash could have already been open by now. And I would fall into that bandwagon for sure. However, there's also a lot more conflicts that end up arising, such as the following. One of the things that they had issues with was location. Now, that's not including location of the actual property and where the ride is going. Vekoma is the manufacturer behind Flash Vertical Velocity. They are not based in the United States. They are actually, I believe, they're European. They're mostly a European company. And this ride originally came from Vietnam, which means they had to ship all of these basically halfway across the world, which would take a lot of time. And also, there was a bunch of third party issues with stuff and getting people contracted on time and such. So, there definitely was a lot of internal struggles with getting this ride up and going with progress continuing as forth. And this stuff always happens with coaster construction. It happens with just about any kind of construction in general. It just is what it is. You come across problems, but at the end of the day, there's always a good solution. And that good solution that we're getting at it is that by 2025 opening day, Flash should be ready to go right from the get go. You'll probably show up on opening day for Great Adventure, and the ride will probably be testing, probably ready to go. They'll probably have like a weekend, maybe even earlier before park open, where they'll have like their media day, and then the ride will just be open right from the get go, which would be really nice. I don't think that'll be the case at all, but it certainly is a very solid possibility that is something that they could do. Now, bear in mind that this is the exact same issue if you're watching this and Great Adventure is not your home park. Six Flags Over Georgia is also going through the same issue with Georgia Surfer, which was also a last minute addition for their respective park. So there's obviously a bunch of conflicts with that. And another thing that we could easily, that many people have also put the blame on, is just the 50th anniversary event. Most people have said that the event was disappointing all because of Flash. And I frankly and highly disagree with that. I still thought Decade Day was exceptional. I really had a great time on that day. If you haven't checked out the vlog, check it out. I really had a blast on Decade Day. It was a ton of fun. Even though, yes, log flume was still getting worked on, Ferris wheel, the giant wheel was doing giant wheel things, rides were still being closed, maintenance wasn't top notch the whole day. I mean, listen, these things happen in amusement parks. They happen all the time. Not every ride that you want to ride is going to be open that day. And that's just the fact of it is. That's just what it is. Things break down. Nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing is going to work out how we want it to. We just have to go through it, and the wait at the end of the day is just going to be worth it. I guarantee it. I would be I don't it's very hard to disappoint me. And I know for a lot of you it's like really easy to get amped up about these things, and I get it. I get the frustration, and especially for people that live around Great Adventure. I know a ton of people that go to Great Adventure often that aren't like a coaster enthusiast, and they're disappointed that their ride that they want to ride is not open. And one of the things I tell them is that firstly is that, well, there's other times. You come here often. There's always tomorrow. There's always another day. There's plenty of time. The ride's not going anywhere. The park would communicate that if something's not coming back at all. So be thankful that at least the park was able to communicate and say, hey, Flash is not going to open this year. They clearly have a lot more work to do than was originally thought. And there's definitely a lot. And I guarantee that at the end of the day, when it's open, it'll all be worth it. We'll all be happy. And yes, obviously the merger, the change of guard, the change of everything is definitely going to play a factor in all of that as construction continues and begins to wrap up. At the end of the day, everything will come full circle. We will get Flash. Flash is going to be open. I guarantee it. They're not going to just leave it sitting there. People like to joke and say it's opening in 2026 because that's when Cedar Fair has full control of the new additions. And it's like, come on, guys. We knew that something like this was going to happen. We knew it was going to be another slower year for editions, and that way they'll pick up the pace even more going into the new 2026 editions next year. So that's really what I would pinpoint your excitement towards. If you're amped up all because Flash isn't open and because Decade Day wasn't able to provide Flash opening, which was the original goal, then you have to really begin to look from a different perspective of what made the 50th anniversary so exciting. Yes, they had a goal, they didn't reach the goal. That happens. Yes, I know business wise, they advertised saying that Flash was going to open this year. That didn't happen. And I know many people are like, well, I'm going to sue. I would not go that far because you probably will not win. But at the end of the day, you will get what you want. You just need to give it time. At the end of the day, I'm not upset about the 2025 delay. I really am not. I saw it coming a mile away just based off of the construction, how fast everything was moving. It just was going to get delayed at some point, and they finally pulled the trigger and said, we need more time. And that's just the reality of it. Sometimes you just need more time for things, and I'm sure in the future they will be able to get these rides open on time, hopefully for opening weekends in the near future. Just put your trust and hand into the brand new Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. They will get it done. I hope you guys enjoyed my very, very much hot take on this topic for Flash Vertical Velocity. If you guys want more of these kind of videos and my thoughts behind this stuff, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Always think your write ups, and I'll see you all in the park. Goodbye.
Here we go.